All right, Little House folks, we have made it to season 3. To be really honest, there's not too many episodes from this season that stick out to me. Like, if I sat down and watched them all, I'm sure I would have a lot more to say, but just from based solely off of my memory, the 3 that stick out most are Bunny, The Race, and The Blizzard. All the other ones, I remember there being like a lot of very serious episodes in this season, which is kind of a bit of a turn from the first 2 seasons. Not to say that there's not some, happy stuff going on, and overall it's just I feel like there's a lot more depth to some of these episodes that I don't feel I can properly report on because I don't remember enough of the details about it, and I'm not going to be watching them all, at least right now. So we're going to work with what we have. So the Bunny and the Race, I remember these 2 episodes. They were separate, but they were kind of like one, kind of like there. It was basically like an unofficial part 1 and part 2 with different names. Because usually, if there was an episode with part 1 and part 2, it'd have the same title. Here they had a different title, but it was just a continuation of the same story. So, Bunny, this is when Laura. So Laura, back in season 1, on an episode I didn't cover, Christmas at Plum Creek, she sold her horse to the Olsons to be able to afford a stove for her mother. It was very sweet for Christmas, and they've stayed consistent with the story, meaning that Nellie now she has her horse. And I guess there's some race in town, like some horse race. But even before that, Laura is seeing how Nellie is treating the horse very poorly. And even though it's technically Nellie's horse, like she owns it now, Laura's still, like on the way to school, she feeds the horse apples. She still takes care of it. She talks to the horse. It's very sweet. And Nellie doesn't like that because it's her horse. And at the beginning of the episode, we see Nellie treating the horse very poorly. And she like keeps whacking it and whipping it and whipping it. And she ends up crashing into a tree and like is injured. And this whole episode, this is, I would say, definitely so far the worst thing Nellie has done. She fakes being crippled, like being paralyzed. She obviously was maybe a little bit injured, but after a day or so of being like of resting and recovering, she'd be fine. She